Hi, and welcome to the VAHOMA Podcast, episode 24. I'm Tim Abbott. With me is Andrew Smith.
Hello.
Brett Phillips, a.k.a. Bert.
Howdy.
And Chris Mason.
Hello.
Okay, on this episode, which we haven't been together for like 6 or 7 weeks now, so we're going to talk about what we've been playing. Beam has turned into Mixer, so I had a few things I wanted to say about that. Some little bit of video game news that we've have come out recently. Darksiders 3. Chris got himself an NES Classic.
So tiny.
And then there's this announcement video about some some indie studio game. I think they're calling it Destiny 2.
Never heard of it.
Not sure what it is, but yeah, we can talk about it. It
sounded kind of cool, but I don't know. We might not know much about it.
I heard they made this little game called Halo once.
So that's what we'll be talking about. Shocker, we're going to talk about Destiny 2. And, anybody that's been listening to these episodes knows by we I mean
we as in this
has an obsession.
This half of the table has a Destiny thing.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, what we've been playing. I've basically been doing Rocket League and Call of Duty again. And that's about it.
Really?
I did go 42-0 in a game the other night in Call of Duty, so that
nice.
was pretty cool. And then Rocket League, my team, we have the worst luck possible when it comes to the freaking puck.
Really?
All we do is play hockey.
The physics of the puck can be wonky sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like, we feel like we're getting ready to clear it, and the next thing you know, it bounces off, we hit it, but then they're hitting at the same time. Somehow it ricochets off us, bounces off 3 walls, and goes in our goal. Every time.
Like, that's what funny. The puck?
Basically, that's what we yell a lot. Except we don't use P. We use F. But anyways. But yeah, that's all I've been really playing. I know, it's not really exciting. But anyways, Andrew.
Well, first I'll get the obvious out of the way. Rocket League and Overwatch.
Okay.
I think last time I checked, I have almost 200 hours in Rocket League.
That's a lot.
And
I have 10.
I think Overwatch, I'm at 70 hours on PC. But anyway. Have you heard about PUBG? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
Yes.
Have you seen it? Anyone else?
No.
Basically what it is, I don't know if you remember H1Z1 King of the Kill, where people just get dropped on an island, everyone fights.
No.
Well, it's Hunger Games. Again, pretty much.
It's PC exclusive right now. So, but there's talks that some people are saying that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds might be coming to the console soon.
Yeah, but that game is stressful all the time, and it keeps you on edge all the time because you drop down with literally nothing. You have to go find guns. You have shotguns, armor, and all this other stuff. And the way it keeps it interesting when more people die is that the area gets smaller and smaller. There's a force field that comes into forces everybody to kind of come in. And so many funny, stressful moments. I accidentally shot a teammate once because I was so I just got done with a firefight.
Turn around. What?
And I hear footsteps coming around. I was like, holy crap. Well, I didn't say that, but turn around, shotgun to the face, kill my teammate. But another funny thing that happened, I was on a hill and I was in a firefight with someone far off into a second-story building. We're trading fires or shots back and forth. So I see someone come up on his side, take my kill right, and I get a little mad about that. I'm like, I turn around, there's a guy sneaking up on me, shotguns me. It's well, it's very addicting. But the other thing,
the way you described it does sound just like Hunger Games.
It's pretty much that.
Okay. That sounds interesting. It sounds fun.
That could be interesting.
But it's 150 people get dropped on that island.
100 people, yeah.
I thought 100 was H1Z1. I thought
no, 100
for Battlegrounds. 150 was H1Z1.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. But
that could be something.
Do you just is it every time you play you that's the game. 100
Yeah, that's
people?
the game. You could last. You could be in there for 2 seconds, or you can be in there for like 20 minutes, depending on how well you do.
But do you level up? And
There's no like. No one has a special advantage or anything.
Okay, so straight up, it's all even.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they have like an airplane will come by and like drop a crate. They'll give you like a heavy machine gun or like a.
Right, but you're starting out the same as everybody
yeah.
else.
And everyone can go for that crate, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's great if you like have like a little city or whatever, and you see like 10 people over there. He's like you're strategizing, like, all right, he's over there, he's over there. I might be able to sneak by him if I get a pistol or something. It's pretty fun.
Are they like set maps or?
It's one map, but the map is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers.
Ah.
So it's a pretty big
okay.
area.
Okay.
But yeah,
Pretty
there's
light.
vehicles if you need to go anywhere. But
Okay.
I also learned a hard lesson about vehicles. It's not like Halo when you can like go full speed and just jump out. You gotta stop the car before you jump out. That and the motorcycle has weird physics. Sometimes one has a sidecar. If you like start rolling, if you're like in the air, it automatically kicks you out of the motorcycle, and then you're just dead because you're going 60 miles an hour and you hit the ground. But that I actually play more Neo. It's a lot of fun. That's pretty much it. Mario Kart.
I guess
It's Mario Kart.
Yeah, more Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's still fun. It has battle mode. I have it, by the way. Just saying. It's over there.
We might. I did bring a bunch of like board game stuff. We haven't been there in a while. Prefer to play the board game stuff.
Yeah.
We can play video games online all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I played just a little bit Nier Automata, that Platinum's game, where you're a robot. They're like trying to remember the mythos of it. It's and the robot race like came by and like pretty much took over Earth.
Did you say brobot?
No.
It sounded like you said brobot.
Robot. Well, you play a female, so.
I was like, what is this like? Something like hardcore? Like they're like, yo, what's up, dude?
Oh God, no.
It's like we're taking over.
But no, that's a fun Platinum game. But I have to get more into that. But that is probably like the best opening of any video game I've seen because it like switches perspectives every once in a while. When you're starting out, you're in like a little mech suit, whatever's flying around. There's people talking, and then a couple of them get shot at. So yeah, you start moving around, and it changes perspectives. It turns into like a twin stick shooter for a little bit, and then it beat them up, and a little bit of platforming. But I like it a lot. I'm gonna play more of that. But that's pretty much it.
Cool. Bert, what you got for me?
Well, I'm going to follow up your short list.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
I'm going to follow up your short list with my long list. I've been playing... Control yourself over there, man. I've been playing Forza 6, trying to finish through the little career mode in that. I've been playing some Formula 1 2016. And I played some Castle Crashers this week. Some old school Castle Crashers 1.
I never could get into that. I downloaded it and I never could get into it.
I mean,
It's a
all
lot
right.
of fun with a bunch of people.
Oh. And I finished Wolfenstein 3D.
Nice.
Got that.
All the gamer score.
Yes, that is the only game I've ever gotten 100% achievement.
So is that like the one from like the 90s?
Yeah,
Yes.
the 20-year-old game.
So you've played a game from 2016, 15, early 90s, and what was the other one?
Castle Crashers.
Castle Crash, so that's what, 2010?
Something like
Farther
that.
back than that.
No?
Oh, no.
Hey,
No,
F1
it might
was
have been
last year.
27,
F1 was
27.
last year. That's current.
2016?
Yeah, current-ish. I mean, I've been playing a game, Call of Duty, from like 2 years ago, so...
Well, I'm trying to get through all my old games, like anything that I haven't finished yet, because I'm trying to beat everything before Destiny 2 comes out, because they're probably not going to play a whole lot.
That's not going to take that long to play. You'll beat it in a few hours, and you'll be done with it.
2008 Castle Crashers.
Oh, okay, 2008. Man, I was off by 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I am. Yes, Chris, I am well aware I am lying.
If Destiny 2 or Destiny 1, if the first Destiny was as big as, like a Skyrim or anything close to that size, I probably would not be married right now. Because I probably never would have come out of that game.
Yeah.
It was just, that I don't know. Gameplay that just can't beat it.
All right, Chris, what you
are
got?
playing?
I've been playing Update Wars. For those of you who don't know that's called Halo Wars 2.
Right, that game.
Yeah, I still
Every time
have.
you turn around, there's a 35
Yeah,
gigabyte.
I hear you guys talk about. I was like, glad I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded the last 2 updates. I
It's-
don't have the patience to do that.
I'm enjoying. There's 2 things that I still enjoy the game, but I don't understand. Right now, they've given us more characters, which you never got any new characters with the new with the old Halo Wars. So we've gotten you got Forge as day 1. You got Kinsano. Then there was Colony, and now you just got Sergeant Johnson. And
Somehow he's alive.
yeah, well, Forge is alive, so you know.
What was it? Wait.
Yeah, that's
right.
Sergeant Johnson.
That's Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah, no. I was thinking, it's like, it must be a different timeline, but didn't Halo
Halo Wars
Wars
2 is
2 supposed to
after.
be?
Yeah.
It looks like they're just
It's
kind
right
of
on Halo
ignoring
4's
when they're
timeline.
the DLC characters. It's not the main story. It's just
They're just throwing
filler,
stuff together.
just throwing stuff out there
Yeah,
for you.
okay.
It does not the extra DLC characters just have nothing to do with the
I like the
mythos.
Colony guy.
Yeah, Colony's my favorite so far. Atriox was my favorite. Then I've shifted to Colony. I've been really enjoying the fact that it's giving us everything that we wanted from Halo Wars. As in, they got new units, new leaders, new powers. I love that. But after all these updates, it's like a 30 gig update every time there's a character. There's no new maps and no new game modes. And I'm kind of sick and tired of Strongholds. Like, I hate
Stronghold sucks.
Stronghold sucks. I mean, I do the AI, 3 of us versus AI, because you get experience for that. And it's a random either deathmatch, domination, or Strongholds, which is the only 3 game types there are. And the thing about Strongholds is you just cannot beat the three computer players because they attack as one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they always
That's kind
attack. And if you played Halo Wars 1, you kind of ran into the same thing once you put it on Legendary. Like, it's not fighting 3 separate computer opponents. You're fighting one computer opponent who's
That's
controlling
3
3 armies. And he's coordinating as such, he or she. You know, I don't want to be racist there. PC. PC. But it literally is it. Cause like there's so many healing units on the map. And so like, and they're all of course air because you got Nightingales and Engineers. So you got all those guys are on the map and I'm trying to make anti-air to kill them because the 5 Marines they might have are indestructible Marines and because they're getting healed so much. But then here comes the other set. Like I say, it's just, Tim's played a couple Strongholds with us and it's not fun. I can't tell you the last time I actually won a Strongholds map.
It's terrible.
It's not good at all. Oops, I bumped the mic. Hopefully.
Didn't look like it spiked or did anything crazy. These new mic cables might actually help. You didn't notice, did you?
Well,
Don't touch it just to make me safe, but yes, they...
So, like I said, I've been playing a lot of Halo Wars because it's one of those games that you can just, get off work, pick it up, play a couple of maps, and then be done with it.
it's like me with Overwatch.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. So then I've also picked up the Bioshock Collection that I got at Christmas time, installed all 3, and started playing Bioshock again. And I have to say, this is the first time I've played a remake of a game, and I am just as impressed and immersed in it as I was the first time. Even though I know,
That's good to hear.
even though I know the story, it looks so good. I just can't even say. I mean, I was impressed with the way Bioshock looked anyway.
It's a 10-year-old game.
But when you put
Yeah,
if you put it in the Xbox, it looks like the Xbox One. Like, it looks like it was made for Xbox One. It handles so quick, so fluid. There's no glitching. It's just like it was made for it. And it was just so fun. I played it on hard because I knew how to, what the story was. I knew what I was doing. And I got shortly after starting it, I was back to my wallet's full. I'm using ammo left and right that I never use the different kinds of ammo on the different guns because I'm full. I'm coming across explosive buckshot, electric buckshot. I wouldn't use that much because you only have a limited supply of it, but you just come across so many items. And it was just so good. I enjoyed it so much. I rolled into, Bioshock 2 and I just started doing the extra stuff on that. I'm looking forward because Infinite, impressed me more than Bioshock 1 and 2. And I've been so impressed so far with this remake that I'm like, okay, I can't wait to play Infinite, which you need to play Infinite.
Yeah, I have the collection. I just haven't.
Well, as big a history
taken
buff as you are,
the wrapper
that
off yet.
Infinite is gonna be right up your alley. Like I said, that's
Yeah, that's one of the games I'm trying to get through.
Plus,
I
Infinite
just haven't gotten to it yet.
Infinite the Infinite is a huge jump between the gameplay of how it plays. You know, the mechanics are there, but it just plays so differently with the sky hooks and stuff, and being above the clouds and being able to run from thing to thing. So, like I said, been playing Bioshock, Halo Wars, Resident Evil, Biohazard 7. I have been.
Oh, you got 7?
Yeah.
Can't play the game. It's too creepy.
Yeah, I've been streaming. I was streaming it on Beam, and Agent M has been, watching me. Which I really like Beam a lot better because we used to do that kind of thing on Twitch, but it would be like almost a 10-second delay. But there is like no delay on Beam, so she's right in the room with me, which is pretty cool. She's another set of eyes. So it's kind of, very creepy. And I'm like, okay, you need to get your tablet out, get your phone out. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? It was like, she's creeping by. I know she's in the other room. What am I supposed to, the beginning?
I've watched like every scary game that comes out. I can't watch it. I mean, I can't play it, but I'll definitely watch it.
That's the way Agent M is. I usually have to be the one to play it.
So I've like seen the whole.
Yeah, I've seen some private play, but even then I was like, I'm good.
That's a good way to transition to Beam.
Yeah, it really is. And it's about
segue.
Segue into this week they announced
Mixer.
that Beam has been turned into, they're calling themselves Mixer now. Made it sound like they couldn't get the name Beam in every country that they needed to be in, so they switched to Mixer. So nice thing about, like we were talking about with Mixer, some of the cool things that it does is that there is like almost zero delay between, there isn't this 10-second delay like with Twitch. I was actually streaming it the other night in Minecraft, and that's what else I played randomly the other night. I was with Primordial Goo, and Zoom just happened to be on, so we had to get on because I was trying to test the turning party chat audio on and stuff, which we couldn't figure that out. I think it was more about Goo's Xbox was freaking out at the time. But so we were playing that, and then we came across you play a little bit of Minecraft, right?
I played a decent amount, but
all right. So there's the the slime blocks and stuff.
Oh, there where you jump.
Yeah, and stuff. So we had to make but finding slime was always really difficult. But for some reason they were spawning above ground, just out in the open, and there was all of them were just all over the place. It was crazy. So we got all those, found the thing, and then we were like, well, there's an achievement called trampoline, which is if you can bounce 30 blocks high. So we made it's 9 blocks of the slime blocks, and then climbed to this tower that is 240 blocks in the air, and jumped off of it, and we're trying to land on that. We might have missed a few times. But Zoom was randomly watching us do this the whole time. And somehow I randomly got, I was streaming Rocket League, no one really watched or anything. Streaming Call of Duty, no one really watched. I turned on Minecraft to goof around with that. I got 3 different people. I got 2 different people now subscribed to me and stuff along those lines on there. It was really random. I was like, of all things, Minecraft's got me followers, but playing the other stuff that, it's I'm good at Call of Duty. Nothing.
Nope. That's boring.
But anyway, so you can have the nice thing again with Mixer and especially with Beam and everything is that the fact it is built into your Xbox. It's really easy to click. It links directly to your account.
Yeah, that's one thing about the Twitch app on Xbox. It can be really wonky.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And
then if you log into your account, then if you go to Mixer.com, you can log in with your Microsoft account, and everything is right there for you. I've made a point to go in there and update my channel so that my offline screen is the VAHOMA podcast, and it has our website. And when I link to it on Twitter or something along those lines, the image that's there will be VAHOMA podcast, would have my gamer tag on top of it. So little things like that you can update. Or turn on the video on demand, so then it will save your stream for you for 2 weeks, and then you can go in there and download it right off the bat. And it downloads in HD. So those things, they added the ability of a co-op stream, so that you can have up to 4 people simultaneously stream as a group, and then they share one chat window. So when Destiny comes out, the 3 of us, if because Andrew or me and you or something like that, 'cause you might actually play that game when it comes out.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, you will. We can agree to do a co-op stream, and then both of our streams will be on the same window. So if people were to go to the website or on the app or something along those lines, they can see both of our screens at once, which I thought was kind of a cool little feature. So, anyways, the biggest thing about non-latency thing is kind of the biggest thing for me. I mean, it's not going to compete with Twitch.
Yeah.
But it's still like I'm enjoying it. I'm probably going to try and stream
for what it is.
I
mean, that's what they said is like I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Twitch. I mean, I've been on it and I enjoyed that. But if again, I want if I want somebody like if Agent M's going to watch me play, having that almost non-existent latency on it makes it okay. They're right there with me playing, watching what I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Which is what they want to do. Oh, and they're also coming out with Mixer Create app, which basically lets you live stream from your phone.
Oh, okay.
To your Mixer account.
Ooh.
So once that becomes available, so like when you do a board game night, you can set up your phone to have it stream like your board game that you're playing or something along those lines.
I don't know if we want to do
your
that.
community or not. I would. I'd do that. Playing X-Wing all the time, I'd probably turn that on.
Yeah.
Just for X-Wing. Sort of find a way to turn that on or something along those lines. I think it would just be something kind of neat to do, something a little different.
Yeah, we might not be able to do that for Ticket to Ride.
Good.
When Chris is trying to maneuver through the eastern half of the United States, that could be
Be like,
a problem.
Let's have an explicit tag on that one.
Yeah, it will make sure that it's not T for teen. It will definitely be higher rated for purposes. Because if Chris blocks my route, there might be some curse words that was said. Because he's done that before. But anyways, I thought it was a cool feature. They had the ability to embed. You can get the code to embed. So actually, if you go to, good job, Andrew. If you go to VAHOMApodcast.com, there is a link at the top for live streams now, which I have linked. Mine and Chris's are on there. You two are apparently not signed up yet.
I thought I had them.
It didn't trigger when I tried to look you up.
Oh.
So, but it's something easy. It just links to your Microsoft account, so you guys do that, and then maybe when Destiny rolls around, maybe even Bert will stream, and we can turn it on or something along those lines. But anyways, anything else you guys want to say? Interested about it?
Halo Wars 2. You played. I'm coming back to it because I meant to say something. It's very glitchy. We're still running. I'm still seeing huge issues where, the game goes out of sync with the players, so I get booted out. But I've never had a game kick me out of the game. Like the game completely shuts down and I'm back at the main screen.
It hard crashes
at least half a dozen
desktop.
times. Like hard. Like you're right in the middle of the game. Then all of a sudden the game freezes for a second, black screen, and then here comes you're right on the dashboard. I was like, I've never had a game go that hard so many times. And there's still quite a few issues of, I'll be playing with like Agent M or somebody and then we get to the end of a mission and it's, nope, player out.
Oh, that sucks.
That's happened numerous times. And we have yet to get the freaking Nightmare Skull.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
And I'm very upset about that because I don't know why. It's the final years. In order to get we have every other skull, and we have the achievement for getting all the skulls. But there's the Nightmare Skull, which basically cuts everything on, but it increases your multiplier. And basically, if you want to get the achievement for getting all gold medals on all missions, that's the skull you need because it's got such a high multiplier. But we can't activate it. It's grayed out for us. And apparently, everything we've looked at online, it says that you're supposed to get it by keeping the very final mission, keep the shields up above, or 75%, or I think lose. Agent M, am I correct?
Agent M over there is just shaking her head going, yes. Mm-hmm,
so we've played that mission at least 6 times, and we've cut on skulls, we've not cut on skulls, we played it on easy, we played it on normal, and we have it down pat, because it's one of those missions that you have unlimited leader powers, and you don't build anything, they just keep giving you units, and it's 4 spots that you have to block off. So she takes 2, I take 2, and you just worry about those 2 and just keep the banish from coming. So it's very easy to do. And we've gotten nothing. Nobody touched the shield, but the skull's not unlocked. I don't know why. Apparently we're the only 2 people in the world that have this issue. Although we did find somebody said the exact same thing, and then they were like, oh, never mind. Like, they put in a forum, they're like, hey, is anybody having trouble getting this? I did it, it didn't get it, then it's like, oh, never mind. Like, what do you mean, never mind?
How'd you fix it?
Yeah. So, I just want to throw that out there, because I've never seen a game boot somebody to the dashboard like that so many times.
Speaking of glitches, I've heard that the Bioshock Collection is kind of glitchy.
No? The only glitch, it's not a glitch. No, I haven't had zero glitches.
Okay.
I think when it first launched it had a problem.
Yeah, no, it's ready and raring to go. I won't even call it a glitch. It's just something that made me laugh was, I remember very vividly how I played the first one. And, you start going to a level and you hit the start button and look at the map and it tells you basically there's 3 big daddies with little sisters in that level. And as you progress through the level, you come across 3 big daddies. No. In the collection, you walk in the room, hey, there's 3 big daddies in that room. God. Or if you got one and then waited like 30 seconds, here comes another one around the corner in like the same area. So the only hump that I had was in the very first area that they started, like basically, here's the game, the tutorial kind of stops, you've learned everything, you know what you're doing. And you've already, talked, did your little initiative with the little sister and the big daddy. I didn't have all my guns unlocked yet. I only had like a shotgun, a pistol,
and a wrench,
and a wrench, and 2 plasmids. And I have 3 big daddies in the first area. So I died a lot.
That must have been like a hiccup in the game.
Well, no, it's every level.
Really?
Yeah, from that point forward, I had no trouble with big daddies, but I didn't have to find any big daddies. Huh. Like they were always at the beginning of the level, so it wasn't, I got all my, Atom at the very beginning, and I spent it, first time I went to a Gatherer's Garden, but that was the distinct difference I remember from the first Bioshock, because they were spaced out. Like once you got to this, like in this area, a big daddy's hanging out. In this area, a big daddy's hanging out. And maybe that one, Fontaine Fisheries, it's the one I'm thinking of. And like, I remembered vividly because it's a wide open space, but that I used trip mines, I used, proximity mines, and you don't get that rocket launcher that does all that till the end of the level. But all 3 big daddies were in the very front. So I used the Vita Chamber a lot in that game right there. And, just kept whacking them because they didn't leave the area, so their health didn't regenerate.
Oh, that's good.
Like I said, I wouldn't call it a glitch, but it was a distinct difference. And once I got past that hump, like I said, the ammo, the items they just flow. And I hack absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So basically, when I find one, I'm going to find them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I guess technically you did. I didn't
but
have to.
Didn't you say you were playing on hard though? Maybe that is like the hard thing.
That might be. I didn't think about that. You're right. I was playing on hard mode. So that might have been a possibility.
That might be the change from. Because I don't think they touched like the way the game, like mechanics.
No, and they sure didn't touch. Like I said, I had so much ammo, so many items, so much money. They didn't give me any less money. So between hacking machines and everything else, I did. And the other thing that I enjoyed about it was when I played it the first time, it was all about the plasmids, because I didn't know how much armor, how much ammo I'd find. Well, this time I didn't hardly buy any plasmids. I bought telekinesis, then got electroshock, because you use those 2 things to disable things. Other than that, I didn't touch another plasmid. Not another one. I got tonics. I got the tonics that gave me like stuff that would make things a lot stronger and that make my ammo last longer, hacking a lot easier, because the ammo was just so free flowing. It was more of a run and gun game than a plasmid. I very seldom used plasmids in that game, which is a distinct difference, which I think that's the other reason I enjoyed playing it, because I didn't play the same, it's not the exact same game, and I didn't play it the exact same way as I did on 360. It was like a whole new experience for me, and I played it a whole different way. So, like I said, it was just so enjoyable. I really enjoyed it.
Good talk.
Somehow we went from being back to Halo Wars back to Bioshock.
Yeah, I forgot the Halo Wars thing. And then he said something about the glitches, and moving on.
Anyways, somehow then also we went from asked if there was anything else you had to say about Mixer, and we went to that.
Well, you said anything else to say, and I'm like, well, I did.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say anything else about Mixer.
Well, you opened the door, I went through it.
That's true. Anyways, moving on. A few things. Red Dead Redemption 2 got delayed.
Not surprising.
Yeah. I mean, it's Rockstar. They're surprising. But it'll probably be May. I mean, actually, May of 2010 is when the first one came out. So,
yeah.
Red Dead Redemption came out.
I'm actually okay with it, because there's stuff coming out this year we're looking
There's a bunch of
forward
stuff
to.
coming out. Exactly.
So, again, there was a dry spell there where it was like, okay, there's nothing else on the horizon, that's really coming out yet that we're excited for. So I'm actually excited for Red Dead, and I'm cool with that being next year because there's other things I'd like to play before then.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that Rockstar's going to do what they want when they want. So, and because they can afford to do that.
They can push it back 2-3 more years and they'd still be fine because GTA is still making money.
Yes, but I bet it's May 2018, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But I think it was funny that they said like basically every developer was doing jumps for joy about the fact that Rockstar got out of the fall. Mm-hmm. Even one like tweeted out like the dancing Vader gif. So I thought it was pretty funny. Far Cry 5 got announced. It's in Hope County, Montana.
Sinner County.
Sinner. And apparently it's like a white
One thing about
cult.
those games, the thing is like they're going for more like a religious cult. But I think they come with cool characters in those games.
The villains are always...
Do they have anything to do with each other, or are they all
No.
standalone?
They're all
standalones.
standalone.
Okay.
But the villains in 3 and 4, they were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I still haven't played Primal. I have it, so I haven't played it. And then with Far Cry 5 now, it just seems like the villains are always really cool. They always have a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see how they do if they end up doing multiplayer again, how the multiplayer
They
works.
think they
Are
said
these
there's
games more
two-
multiplayer geared or single player?
Single
geared?
player geared.
Single, but you can do co-op like with 2 people. I'm pretty sure
I'm just
that
kind of
was
curious.
announced for
Y'all
5.
talk highly about, and it's just not a game franchise I've gotten into.
It's a lot of fun. Like, we had a lot of fun doing the co-op stuff for 4, but you can't do the campaign missions are single player only. So you can basically do everything else in the game as far as like hunting stuff or unlocking the towers or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the story campaigns you have to do single player, and I wish you could do that co-op. I don't know if you'll still be able to. Still probably might make that single player only because the problem we ran into is we literally did everything.
Yeah, I jumped into the game.
They came to my game.
All the
We
outposts.
cleared everything possible, but the second half of the island didn't unlock until you advanced the campaign. So I'd have to play the campaign to unlock the story. Well, I was like, I want to do more co-op stuff. The co-op stuff's what's fun. And so I just wish they would have the ability to do the campaign stuff or have the entire island unlocked from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what they do, especially with it. But it looked cool. I think it's just
It's a fun sandbox game. Of course, you have like one big section of the map, but you go get guns. You can customize your guns. There's animals in there to hunt, so you can upgrade stuff. You remember the honey badger?
yes, stupid honey
A
badger.
little honey badger like that big, it'll mess you up.
Well, I've heard they will do that in real life too.
Yeah, but
There's also like some of the stuff of like liberating the outposts and stuff along those lines. Like it's basically like kill all the enemies in that post. But there's some stuff you might see that there might be like a caged tiger in there, where literally you shoot one bullet that unlocks the cage, and the tiger will kill everybody in the outpost for you. And then it goes, outpost has been liberated, and you're like, I fired one bullet from a mile away. I'm good now. So
Nice. Good
it's
to
a
know.
really fun. I think I probably only spent like 20 or 30 hours in 4, but it's a fun game to mess around with.
that's cool. South Park got a date, October. We'll see if they actually stick to it. I'm looking forward to that game. I think it looks great. I love the first one. But, Chris, you would like the first one a lot.
You said I would.
You would love that game. But definitely not with Terry in the room.
No.
Also, did you know Dead by Daylight was coming to console? Remember Dead by
Really?
Daylight?
Yeah, I know what it is, but
Yeah, it's coming to Xbox literally next month.
well, didn't the Friday the 13th movie or game just come out?
It came out yesterday, and apparently it is wonky and all jacked
Really?
up right now on the servers. So, Dead by Daylight, which I've watched a lot of the Let's Play Achievement Hunter guys play, so I'm actually kind of excited to play that game, is basically where you're on a map, you have 4 survivors, their jobs are to fix generators, and it unlocks the exit. The one person on the map is a giant psycho killer, and his goal job is to hunt down the survivors and then pick them up and hang them on a hook to sacrifice to the spider god.
So like Evolve.
A little bit, like same idea.
It's
It's
the same idea, but
1v4.
no, the gameplay is definitely not
The
same.
gameplay is not like Evolve and stuff along those lines. Like in Evolve, the hunters, they can kill the monster. This, you can't kill the monster. You're trying to hide and turn on generators just to escape. Whereas the hunter, he might have the ability to cloak, or he has traps he can put down, or the nurse, she can like teleport across the map. And the hunter's in first person, whereas the that's pretty funny waveform. the survivors are in third person.
Mm.
I'll show you a video of it when we're finished here. It's
Okay, sounds
actually a really interesting game and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of fun to play as like a group, like if the five of us had it or something like that. And it's like right now on Amazon, it's $25 for brand new.
It's already out?
Not yet. It's like pre-order and stuff. It comes out June 20th.
Oh.
But I know I'm probably going to get it. And then my two buddies I'm always game with, I'll probably convince them to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But
You have to see the video.
yeah, I'll show you the video and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting. But I was really surprised that it was coming to Xbox. Like, I didn't even know until my buddy Dunk was looking online for something else. And he was like, isn't that the video you showed me? Like when we were playing X-Wing, so they usually just play something in the background. But yeah, that's randomly coming. So so that's cool. Chris, want to talk about Darksiders 3 real fast?
Yeah,
That's
Darksiders
been
3.
announced.
I really enjoyed Darksiders 1 and 2. If you have not played those, they're fairly large world hack and slash adventure games, but the worlds are pretty big. I remember the second one. There was a lot to do, go back and do. In fact, the only qualm I had was just the maps were not really great with marking things, and it's one of those games that's like, okay, from where to go, you're going to come across places you can't get to, doors you can't unlock, but you won't get them for way, whatever you need till way later in the game, and you're never going to remember to come back to every one of these spaces. So basically, the only way to do it is just go backtrack the entire map, and by the time nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
There's just too many things to go through and do, too many dungeons, so that was the one qualm I had with both of them, but the story was really good. The artwork, the gameplay was really God of War-ish. I mean, I love the God of War series, and it reminded me of that. It was kind of over the top, but the whole heaven versus hell, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It looks like 2 is a direct sequel to 1, but it looks like this one is happening about the same time 1 is. As H&M just said, they confirmed that from IGN, but just watching the trailer of it, you're playing, what's her name? Fury, yeah. And she has a whip
It's a cool looking whip.
Yes, it is.
It's
yes,
like
it is.
you got in Bloodborne, you have a weapon like that.
So it looks, the game, like I said, the gameplay from the other two games was amazing. Like, and after playing the Bioshock Collection, I'm like, okay, I want to go get the Xbox One remastered version of Darksiders 1 and 2 and play them again.
Did they remaster that?
Yes, they
They
did.
remastered them.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking about getting them.
I've never played them.
I recommend them. They were so much fun. Like I said, especially it reminds me kind of God of War-ish, but it's just much more open. Whereas God of War was more linear. It feels like that nice combination between the two. I know the second one's called the Death Definitive Edition because you're death.
Didn't the first remake have a weird title too?
Yeah, it was something with war in it because it's war. Reward or something, mastered or something like that. But they said they redid it, so I'm kind of curious now. I kind of want to go back and get those.
Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
War Mastered.
$12.48 right now on Amazon.
For $12, I'm telling you, it's worth it.
And Death Initiative Edition for Darksiders 2.
Definitive.
Definitive.
And the ending, I'm not going to say it, but the ending of Darksiders 1 had one of the best endings, one of the best lines I've heard in a while, and it was very, very well, like, you finish it, you're like, okay, it's so open for the second, you're ready to play the second one, and then when you play the second one, you're like, okay, you're ready for a third one.
So that game was actually in limbo for a good while.
Yes. That's why I was really surprised. I mean, I hadn't kept up with it. I hadn't even thought to keep up with it when the company went belly up, and then they held on to the rights to it. And
yeah, I think it was at IGN. Maybe it was an IGN first for this month. So they were showing off things. I got the trailer running. So, Chris, anything else you want to say about Darksiders? Or
no, just highly recommend it. Like I said, I'm actually looking forward to going. I don't look that forward to go back and play games, but like I said, Bioshock completely changed my mind, and I enjoyed it so much. It was like playing it again for the first time. And I'm getting geeked up over the third one because of the way the second one ended. I want to go back now. I went back and went to Wikipedia and just reread the stories of from start to finish, the synopsis from the first and second game, just to refresh my memory, because the story was good, but it's not very convoluted, but there's a lot to do it, and it's basically, the four horsemen of the apocalypse and heaven and hell, and there's a lot more going on that you don't know who did what or who started it, and then, like I said, you're just trying to figure it out. But basically, the horsemen are the tools that got used, and you're trying to figure out who is pulling the strings.
That was just a cinematic trailer. That did not show me anything of value to me. I'm just curious what it looks like gameplay-wise.
Of 3?
No, the first one.
Oh, the first one.
So, anyways, keep vamping. I'm still...
Agent M is thing.
Oh,
She has
okay. The 360 version or the Xbox One version? Oh, that doesn't help me at all.
I would imagine just prettier graphics.
Still.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, the gameplay, it's in the game. I've played the backwards compatibility ones, and a remastered one makes a difference.
Yeah, I haven't touched Bioshock in years.
I'm so randomly muted. So, anyways.
Just gonna watch YouTube.
While you're doing that,
you keep doing that. You want to talk about your NES collection?
yeah, I want to talk about the NES. I got
about your
the I got the NES Classic because a friend of mine at work was amazing. We had one come back.
Give him a shout out.
Give Ryan Erickson a shout out. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Well, he picked it up for me. So it's everything that I thought it was going to be. It's got the 30, the 30 games are there exactly the same.
It looks good.
They look the same. They feel the same. It does not feel like a emulator at all. It looks, sounds, and feels. And the biggest nice thing as Agent M found playing Mega Man was the controller. Because playing some of these remastered games, or not remastered, but like the games on an Xbox, if you just bought them in an arcade version, is playing them on an Xbox controller. And you just can't do it. It's just different. It's the simplicity of that controller. You don't appreciate it until you start playing. Like I said, Mega Man's a good example of a game. I absolutely cannot play it. I bought the Legacy Collection because I thought it'd be cool. It's like 8 or 10 different Mega Mans, and I love Mega Man. I've tried every one of them, and I can't with the controller. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't handle right.
I have to try with that because I did the same thing. I just got trounced.
If you pick up that controller, the only problem I had is because I guess I'm just not, I was younger, so my hands weren't as big. My hands started cramping up a little bit because the controller is small, and so you're holding it not like an Xbox controller. But so after about an hour, my hands started cramping, so I had to kind of take a break. But it feels about the same, but everything looks great. It's well worth it. I'm looking forward to the Super Nintendo. I kind of had given up on that one, but Terry has started playing it. He's playing Kirby, and he likes those kind of games.
I played so much Kirby.
I will say, though, I find it extremely interesting, the fact that how much they botched the launch of that thing.
Oh,
I bet they didn't.
It's the classic Nintendo, but it's like, how do you not even just revamp? And then they just completely all of a sudden are going, we're done making it now.
They said
making
they
you
did
money.
not want to hurt the Switch. This is what their official response was. They did not want to hurt the sales of the Switch.
It's probably just a hype machine.
I wasn't going to touch the sale of the Switch. That was $60.
Well, that's another thing. They might need manufacturing space.
No, that's
true.
true.
Switch it over to this.
You can find.
But again, nobody. I didn't even know about the Switch till like 2 or 3 months ago before it came. I mean, I didn't care about it. They hadn't
announced it until.
But this was before
January.
Christmas. I mean, so. And the demand from Word Go was there. Like, you couldn't, the day they came out, you couldn't keep them in the stores. Nobody had them. Nobody kept them longer than a couple of hours or a day until word got out that, so-and-so had them. So why you would just, start to finish, it sounded like what they did was like, we're only going to make X amount of these from Word Go. Like, when they first came up with this idea, we're going to make 100 million, and then they said, okay, then.
It was nowhere near that.
Well, I'm just saying whatever, 100,000, and then they're like, okay, we can maybe make another 20,000, and then they did that, and all right, we're done.
That's probably what happened.
And so it's just a sad thing.
I don't like the way they handle it, and so it's like there's rumors that they're going to be doing a Super Nintendo Classic Edition.
Mm-hmm.
But they're handling it the exact same way Nintendo always handles it. The same way they did the Nintendo Wii. The same exact way they did the Switch. It's the way Nintendo does.
Yeah, which is terrible. Anyways, good?
Yeah.
Because, we've been going for 43 minutes, and now we're just now getting to a little tiny
3-hour
game.
podcast, everybody.
A little tiny game called Destiny 2 was officially announced, and then they showed gameplay video this time, fairly recently. So, do we just let Chris go? Or
well, how about I just...
You go first. What do you think?
I wanted
things to say, but I mean,
I wanted Destiny. I wanted to get sucked into Destiny, but the only thing was that
Talking about Destiny 1 or this
content
one?
to Destiny 1.
Okay.
I just want to go through what I didn't like. The gameplay is always good with Destiny. I mean, the gunplay is perfect. Just when you have to grind and you only have like a couple options to do, and the dumb crap about you can't just hop into a multiplayer thing and like, hey, you want to try to go on a raid? No, you have to have a group of 6 people or whatever. But anyway, I'm actually kind of excited for Destiny 2 because it sounds like maybe they put more stuff into the open world, so you don't have to do those dumb effing patrols and just like 5 minutes loop around. Oh, okay, same spot. Come around. Yeah.
Yeah, getting rid of the grind was one of the first things.
I don't mind grinding. It's just giving me more ways to grind. Like
right.
more
Exactly.
strikes, bigger area, more. It's like
Yeah.
Borderlands.
Yes.
I mean, you could took you forever if you want to like try to 100% the whole game, and you don't have to do that. You can level up normally and just go do a couple side missions and be fine. But
Well, the thing with Borderlands was there was loot specific areas. Like if you wanted this, you went to this area and you went and grinded over there to find it or get that. It was only certain areas where I think Destiny lacked some of that.
yeah,
But what I meant by the grind thing was about just the more of like, oh, I need 45 relic
or iron fragments.
So I've got
So now you're gonna go buy it.
Exactly. That was one of the first things they did, was at least fixing that. But for vanilla Destiny, which could drive a lot of people away, is once you hit the end of the story, it was like, what do you do?
What story?
Yeah, okay. The campaign missions.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Campaign missions. But once you beat it, it was like, now what do you do? And they were like, well, if you need to level up more, you go to the Crucible and grind in the Crucible, and then say you were lucky enough to get a group together to do a raid, then it all became about the raid gear to get you to level 30 at the time, and that was the only way to do it. But if you're going to run the raid one time per week with your hunter, your warlock, whatever it was, and then if you got raid gear to drop, but I couldn't tell you how many times I got just the gauntlets to drop, like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, the drop rates were horrible.
Well, that and the whole matchmaking system of like previewing like a group you want to go into the guided games or whatever they call
For the new one, yeah.
that. I've never had a problem with the actual Destiny community. Every time I've gone into like some randoms, everyone's helped me out or whatever. I think this is like a lot better to just like comb through. It's like, oh, this group's looking for one, and Destiny's so big, and I'm sure Destiny 2 is gonna be so big where that won't be an issue.
Which the VAHOMA clan will carry over.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've been.
I like that's
found,
built into the console.
Yeah, that's the one thing that like you just touched on, that I found so refreshing about this game is I learned just a couple months after I got on Xbox Live 9 years ago that to just go into party chat by myself whenever I was playing by myself, just go into a party chat by myself and never communicate with whoever I was playing with. I learned that like 2 months after I got on Halo 3. Because people are morons. But it's like, if you
Instead of being cursed out by a 13-year-old that's managed to
That's
put
Call of Duty.
It's like, so
I got
it's
that
like,
from Halo 2.
it's like if you go into
Halo as
Call of
well.
Duty, if you go into Halo, if you go into Battlefield, there's just a whole bunch of straight up morons playing out there. It's like, can't you just chill out and play the game, And it's like Destiny from from day one, it's like, when everyone when you're talking about just going around in a loop, just picking up the materials chests or picking up the materials deposits and everything. It's like sometimes there'd be like 10 of us just running around in a circle, be like, all right, there's a chest over here. Somebody waves and everybody comes running over there, there's a couple, I've run into a couple jerks in Destiny, but it's like pretty much everybody is helping everybody out, It's just like,
As a whole, the community is so much better.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the things that they announced
That's been very refreshing.
were exactly what I was hoping for. I put the video on Facebook that last reveal that they had about when they were talking about, what I've been saying for 3 years, which was the matchmaking and clan. You can make your own clan. You can put it out there. Hey, looking for a raid. If anybody needs help, you can find those people, which is all I'd ever asked for.
Basically, looking for group is now actually in.
It's going to be in there, and the fact that because the way Destiny, which it doesn't look like that formula is going to change too much, but it's like the end all be all is the raid. Okay, that's you play the campaign's done. till the next DLC. Then you'll get more campaign missions. But then it's the raid, and then running the raid multiple times to get all the gear, because the best gear in the game will be probably raids. And being able to be as big a fan of Destiny as I was, but I could not do the raids. I couldn't even get into the raids, let alone get the great gear that I wanted, because I couldn't get 6 people on to play for 4 hours to figure, especially the first time you go through a raid, you figure out, which I like. I don't mind, when we actually got people together to do it, I liked doing the Vault of Glass. I liked doing Crota, and I liked figuring it out. I liked the fact that it took us weeks to do it, and the first week we figured out this section, then we kind of figured out the next section, and then we kind of figured out the next section, but it took time, and I liked it because I'm playing with friends and we're having good conversations and we're screwing up, but I mean we're enjoying each other's company, and I get that's the spirit of what they wanted,
and it's the biggest thing in the game, so it's
right.
like it should be.
And they
hard.
made it so that you need 6 people that can talk to each other, and that's fine. And I don't mind talking to strangers, and especially because this is a community that's proven that's like, okay, if you're going to be a bunch of jerks, then I'm not going to play with you. That's fine, but that's not. And as a whole, the way this community, like I said, Halo 3 or Call of Duty, you might as well just hang it up. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about. They're just all about themselves. So I like the fact that they're doing it like this. I like the fact that they're putting more in the story. They're putting the grimoires are going to be in game.
Yes.
So there's like a lore button where you get a gun, you can see
the lore button.
Yeah, the lore button. You can see all the history of it, because there's so much backstory to Destiny that's like on the website. I know an individual that I work with that knows the backstory to every freaking thing in the game. And
yeah, I have like 4,400 Grimoire score, and I haven't looked at one thing.
But there's so much interesting story, like the names of the guns, there's a reason for it. And it's really cool, the reason for it. But I missed out on that because we didn't know about it. Because I'm like, if you let me pop it up on the screen so I can see it, that's great. But I'm not going to go log into a website that I never go to look up the 57,000th grimoire that's 17 pages long about the history of I don't, that's just...
And it was nice that first mission trailer that they showed looked like more story than...
Yeah. Anything from the first Destiny 1.
Well, it's like Destiny 1, it's like you get dropped in. You guys like, alright, a ghost woke you up. Oh, some guy is telling you to do this. Okay, I'll do that. And then at the end of the game, this random chick is like, here's a gun. Bye. Goes.
Yeah.
And then you're just like...
Or the fact that the speaker was like, I could tell you about this. I could tell you about that. But that'll be for another time. You're like, but that sounded interesting.
Yeah,
I want to know about that.
I want to know. So I like the fact that they have Cade, Zavala, and Ikora, who I love the voices, I love the actors, and the fact that they have now become part of the game, as in where they should be, instead of being the person that I go to at the Vanguard, Nathan Fillion, being the Hunter Vanguard. I was like, I know his voice, I know who he is, and he's like, hey Hunter, what can you do? I mean, whatever the little banter is when and that's all he did for how many years? Yeah. For like the first year and a half, and then they started.
Yeah.
But then they started. Bungie can make good stories.
But now they got them, not only, as the DLCs came out, like I said, Bungie did exactly what they should have done, which every DLC fixed something else, and they got closer and closer, but you never fixed the core problems. It's everything that I was missing. I feel like I was missing from Destiny 1 feels like they've, at the very beginning, jumped in and said, okay, hey, we're addressing this. Like I said, the very first thing that they talked about, that last, Let's Play video that they posted was like, we heard, the community say, hey, I want to do the raid, but I don't have 6 people that can get on. So I want a way to find 5 other people that, wanted to do a raid with me. And I'm like, thank you, for the love of God. Thank you. That is exactly what we want to do. I want to play with people, but I need to find them. Times we'd be in the tower and be like looking to raid, blah, blah, blah. And then, the fact that the whole Gallahorn thing.
Other game modes that locked you out, you had to have a closed group. You couldn't just go into a matchmaking. I remember trying to go into something else.
It used to be the weekly strike, but they changed that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they changed it so the weekly strike lets you go, lets you go to matchmaking. So now it's just the Nightfall and raid.
And now the weekly strike isn't just one strike. It's
random.
It's random strikes from the whole list of strikes, and you just have it resets each week. So it's like you have certain burns on certain perks are available just for that week, and then it'll, next Tuesday it'll change to something else, and so.
The Nightfall stays the same the rest of the week, but you don't know what it is until it switches.
Yeah.
I guess one of the other things they announced as far as the weapon slots is that you basically
I
have
actually like that.
two primary weapon slots, and then your heavies move, like the sniper and the shotgun move to the heavy slot with your rocket launchers and stuff along those lines. So it's kinetic and then energy are your two slots, and then your third slot would
that,
be...
and they had a minigun. There's a minigun in the game.
Yes, it is.
I saw that. It's like Titan, me throwing the Captain America shield with a minigun. I'm sold.
So,
yeah, the new subclasses that I'm finding interesting.
The new
that video that was showing, the gameplay video was showing from the Warlock perspective, and the Warlock was throwing up some kind of an empowering bubble. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that one.
I think that was a healing bubble, I think.
There was a healing bubble from the
healing
Warlock.
bubble? Okay.
The big thing with the Warlock is the Dawn Blade.
Yeah, but at the same time, like as I was watching the video, at the same time they were throwing up this like milky gray bubble or whatever around them, and I couldn't tell exactly what it said on the screen what it was.
There's also somebody throws out a shield, like very much like it reminds me of Borderlands when Roland would throw out the turret, how it had a shield in front. I've seen somebody doing that same thing. It's throwing basically kind of like not the Captain America shield, but it might have been a Titan.
Yeah.
But they're throwing a shield out front, and then somebody's behind them, walking, doing that. So it looks like they're adding more balanced gameplay, whereas like you got more supportive, whereas on your characters who are more offensive and vice versa.
I will say this: seems like the hunter got screwed again.
I disagree. I disagree.
But what I mean that is that the Warlock's getting a sword that throws fire from the sky. The Titans are getting Captain America shield. And the Hunter is basically getting Arc Blade again, but with a staff.
Yeah.
Or Blade Dancer, but it's with a staff this time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like Blade Dancer to begin with, so I can just use Golden Gun again.
Well, see, I was more of a Blade Dancer than a Golden Gun. And because you can quickscope much better than I can. That's why I did not like the one and done, 3 shots and I'm done, because I missed most of the time. And I'm like, okay, well, I just wasted my super. Whereas with Blade Dancer, it was like, homing, and I'm quick enough where I'm inside. Yeah, and I don't mind getting in close with people.
But I guess what I mean by that is that it seems like the Warlock and Titans got something newer and unique.
Something uniqually different than what they had. Whereas the Hunter looks like they got something very similar.
Like a Blade Dancer again.
Granted, that's exactly what it looks like.
I mean, I won't know until I play it, obviously.
Right.
But it just seems like I was like, well, I like the Hunter because I want to interact with Cade 6 because I'm a Nathan Fillion fan, and and the Hunter looks the coolest because it gets a fancy cape. But I mean, it's like I'm not attached to my Hunter, so it's like obviously I get to keep my Hunter hair and face. Ooh. It's like I can recreate that in 5 minutes.
Ooh.
So it's like
I think I had a few things to say about what carried over and what didn't carry over.
Yeah, we that's a fun video. That's why you weren't invited to the...
That's why I wasn't invited to the closed session stream. I was like, why wasn't I invited? Then you reminded me about that. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were listening to our podcast.
But I think I thought the Warlock one looked the coolest just because it's a sword that throws fire.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But when we get to the beta, I'll try them all just to see which one works, and then maybe I'll switch classes. I mean, I'm not tied to the Hunter.
The problem...
I'm not. There's no way I'm running 3 characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought about bringing that up. I was like, well, which character am I gonna? It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna run all 3.
I can't.
I'm not.
I'm gonna run all 3. There's
the only way I can see running 3 is if I have one specifically when I'm with you guys, and then one when I'm specifically with my 2 buddies that I do Call of Duty with and everything else in Rocket League.
It just depends. It depends on how. Because we did the same thing. I did the same thing. Well, I did something very similar with when we did Borderlands. It just depends on how much you want to play the game. Because the one good thing is, it's like I said, the Titan's in my fun class. And I started with the Hunter, and I liked the Hunter, and I still enjoyed the Hunter. The Hunter's always been my primary. But the Titan has always been my more fun class. It was just, do I want to grind everything on the Titan? But when they started making, okay, I can give my Titan, the
letting
effect,
you transfer
weapons and everything. Okay, that makes things so much easier. You don't have to start it like in Borderlands. You don't have to start a new character. I can drop the gun and this character can pick it up. Yeah, he's going to level up, but it's going to be really quick. Especially, when we started doing it where, I load my game, you can bring your level 1 up and I'm getting 1 experience, you're getting, 27,000 for these guys. So it's not going to take long. But the gameplay is so different on each character. As long as it still keeps the gameplay different on each character, that's why making another character, running 3 characters sounds very monotonous, but I don't do everything on all 3 characters. I never did. But I love playing now. Where we're at now is, okay, we play the Nightfall, we play the weekly strikes, and we play raids. I'm like, okay, I can run all 3 with my 3 characters now. I didn't do all of the campaign. I didn't do all of the story, nor do I want to with all 3 characters.
Yeah. The leveling up those things. The leveling up for the system now is way better than when it initially was.
So then I can understand. But now, I'm saying is, don't discount the fact that you might want to make a second character, because you might, start with the warlock and I kind of miss my hunter, miss that golden gun, and there's going to be cool things, cool armor and weapons that made for the hunter, and then you're like, I want to go start a hunter. But the way Destiny does it is, it's not that far of a reach. To do it.
Now it is.
Yeah. Right? Exactly.
So hopefully they keep that in Destiny 2. Hopefully they don't regress. I don't think they will, but
nothing I've seen has made me think that they're taking something that they did, adjust for in a good way and undo it.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it's been kept, and then they're addressing so much of the major issues from the first, including, like I said, this nice big story that I'm really interested to see. I want to know who Gary is, aka Gaul, and what happened with the Traveler, I like the fact that these, the cinematic trailers about, the one with Zavala. I thought that was so cool. You got to see Zavala when he was a Guardian. And you got to see, Holiday when she was a little girl. You got to see them build the tower. I just thought that was really cool. Where were you when we played the first Destiny? All of it was a build up to, okay, now the tower's going to get destroyed. And I get why the build up was, but I'm like, again, they're showing us Cade, they're showing us Ikora, they're giving us Zavala, and they are now more a part of the game than they ever were, even though they were the 3 sitting there. I'm sure Zura will be back in that, some of the other speaker maybe, but those 3 made the game.
That's what I want to know. Who are the agent of the 9?
We may find out.
Who are the 9? Because he's the agent of the 9.
You can ask that person I was talking about.
Oh, okay, right.
Because apparently that was in the Grimoires.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
I do know finally that trailer with Zavala, the blue ball guy. That's how the Guardians get back up. That's actual lore. It's just not a gameplay mechanic. It's a lore thing though. And I was I got more lore out of that trailer than all bleaking Destiny 1. Anyway,
I'm
not bitter.
Keep going. I gotta stamp that.
Well, the banter.
I believe myself.
I love the banter between Cade.
You said the word. Thank you very
Did I?
much. Yes.
Between Cade and Ikora, the banter that they have.
first
I like that. I like the fact that they're doing that in the trailer too.
Yeah.
And they've at least 2 different cinematic trailers and then the gameplay trailer.
Yeah. They apparently upped the time to kill in the Crucible. So I found also interesting that the Crucible went down to 4v4 for everything instead of 6v6.
Makes for a faster game, I think.
Interesting, more gameplay, a little bit more personalized and stuff. But there's been times when we have an ability to have 6 people and stuff along those lines. Or I know it's a default thing, from the very beginning, and why they're doing stuff like that. But the 3-player for the campaign, I just wish it was 4.
It's just odd. They always shows odd numbers.
It's an odd number. I just wish it was 4. Because how many times has there been where it's Agent M, Chris, myself, and Bert are on? But so Bert's left out in the dark because I was on before, he popped on.
Yeah.
Then, or he's on, then I get on, and it's well, I guess I'm out of luck, and I'll just go and I guess I'll go jump around in the Crucible for a little bit until Bert says I got to go to sleep. So I wish the number had been 4. I mean, I get the idea that they're we want 1 Titan, 1 Warlock, 1 Hunter, but we never run it like that. And I just, personally, that's the way I wish it would have been, was 3v3. Now, the 4v4 for the multiplayer for the Crucible, I That's more personalized. That's more Halo-esque than the 6v6 was. Feels a little bit more personal, a little bit kind of thing. So, and they've upped the time to kill, so it makes it a little bit harder to get a kill now. So you gotta be a little bit more. Other than that, and now, what?
Yeah, I posted that.
Oh yeah. Yes. Bert had to go and look up a meme randomly, and then now he's laughing and stuff along those lines.
It's a good one.
It's a good meme, yes, but I'm not inserting it in the video. You're making too much work for me. And
one last thing, I'm kind of excited to play it on PC.
Yeah, the PC part was interesting.
I know you guys really don't care, but I don't.
No.
I mean, I don't have a PC that could run it, so I mean, but if I did, maybe.
The PC stuff, as far as like it's uncapped frame rate, you can run it at 4K, whereas the PS4 Pro is 4K at 30 frames. Scorpio, they didn't say anything, but Scorpio's going to be 30 frames.
Well, yeah, but I just like playing shooters on PC now, so.
I can't do it. Plus, I sit in front of a PC all day at work. Last thing I want to do is sit in front of a PC at home.
My PC at home has games on it.
It's true, but I sit at my PC at my desk for 8 hours a day. I don't want to do that when I get home.
Yeah, well, I guess my PC at work moves around a lot, so.
Yeah, mine doesn't. And also just the idea of like, so much more complicated trying to get a party together, as far as like party chatting or something along those lines.
Discord.
And everything.
That's all you gotta do. Discord.
Yeah, Discord's a new thing, and so I don't feel like
it's learning. Been around for a while.
I don't want to learn new things.
I mean, even the graphics drivers in NVIDIA just has a little thing you just hit. Hey, drivers installed.
Oh look, I got an updated driver thing. You know what I can do on a console? Put the disc in and it works.
And then you have to download 30 gig
That's
update.
the Halo Wars.
That's Halo Wars. Yeah, too. With the 30 gig update. But anyways, I digress.
I'm just picking on you. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
But I can't do PC. I can't do mouse and keyboard. It's too complicated. It's weird to me.
I tried it once. And
that was great. Just like,
I was like, no, I can't.
Thinking about playing games.
I can see myself looking at the WASD key, and it's just
I mean, Minesweeper maybe, but that's about it.
Minesweeper's a classic.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, what else you got for me about Destiny 2? Anything else? Because that only went for like 30 minutes. That was pretty impressive.
No, like I said,
actually 20 minutes.
I'm very excited that the key things that they that made us really hate going. We're going to say hate because somebody else hated playing a lot because it was the repetitiveness. I'd be curious. I would like to see them do something to like running the Nightfall more than once. Get something, do something, make it worth something. Even now, at least counts towards the bounties that you can get from Zavala. So running the Nightfall 3 times, it at least has something. Before, it was abso-freaking-lutely nothing that would make you want to run the Nightfall more than once. And when you have 5 people, like you said, that are in 5 or 6 people in a friends group, but you only have 3 in a fire team, and yes, I had 3 characters, but maybe all 3 characters weren't leveled up yet to run said Nightfall. Somebody's water.
Shower.
Oh.
I thought that was the thing.
I thought my laptop was dying there for a sec. So apparently we have a neighbor is taking a shower.
Okay.
So sorry for that random noise in the background.
So
because I can hear it. So
I'm curious to see about the rewards. Like so obviously you should only get the big reward, the guaranteed whatever at the end of that, but you should be able to get something for running the Nightfall, running the strikes.
Another thing I was talking about was the lost sectors for exploring areas and stuff. But when they started talking, they go, "We want you to be able to explore and find every nook and cranny and look for all this stuff." And I went, "Oh no! If I play with Chris, it's going to take 8 hours to finish."
Yes, that's what I want.
One mission. Well, it's like
what
I'm so mission driven. Where it's like the mission says we need to go this way. And Chris is going to be like,
"No,
there's a mission to find."
If there's an arrow here, if there's an arrow pointing to the right, then I have to go left, up, and down first before I ever even look at the right.
Yeah.
And so that just
I know.
That drives me nuts. So when he said that in the stream, I went, well.
See, that brings back memories of playing Borderlands and looking at the map and saying, okay, we got to go way up here. And then Asian Am would be like, Chris, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going way down here because that's where we're supposed to go. So we have to uncover the entire map before I will move to the next area. And sometimes we never made it to that next area.
So the idea of the lost sectors I thought was interesting because they're saying you'll find a boss and then he might be guarding some fancy loot thing. So like you're talking about, it's more stuff to do in the open world than patrol of go kill 10 enemies
God.
Or waiting for that
public event
that may or may not show up.
I think they said they're going to make it easier to see when public events are going to show up.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they were going to do some kind of like in-game counter. Or
I like the public. I like the idea of public events, especially at first. But when you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, like give me something to do. You know, it was nothing else that you could do except wait to get the public event. I'm like, okay, we'll do 15 public events. I'm like, that's a long time. I mean, I like the public events, but I like the randomness of, you know, hey, we're going over to do this, and all of a sudden, you know, it gets dark, and I was like, oh, public event, cool. But instead of, okay, you got to do 15 public events, I'm like, great. Now I want to do them, I can't find them.
Yeah.
Or when I have to find them, I'm like, it's going to take 7 minutes for a public event. Okay, then another 7 minutes after that, then another 5 minutes after that.
So, I thought it was interesting, though. I'm excited for the stream when they did the debut and all sort of stuff. We'll learn, I'm sure, at E3's press conference with PlayStation, they'll say when the beta will be available. It'll probably be like, and the beta will be available this weekend for PlayStation first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? F PlayStation. Okay, really? That should have switched over to Microsoft. I'm like, they freaking got all of Destiny 1. Why do they have to do it again?
I'm pretty sure they signed like a multi-game deal with
cash money.
So.
Yeah. But I have a problem.
I
with
agree.
that.
It's real crap.
I have a problem with it being a year that they get the stuff.
I mean, we're talking about with the Zombie Chronicles, you know, for Call of Duty. I'm like, okay, available on PlayStation first. Sure. For a month. Sure. Okay, that's fine. But when I have to wait for the next DLC or the next 2 DLCs to come out before I'm going to get something that was basically no longer relevant, because that strike and that mission and those weapons were on PlayStation a year ago, but we had to wait a full year. And it's been nerfed 27 times, but I'm like Hawkmoon, you know, I heard all about Hawkmoon, but that was a PlayStation exclusive. And I'm like, I don't care about it now. I don't want it, don't care about it. It might have been cool then. But
at the time, they're saying like there could be ways of getting like one-shot kills with the Hawkmoon.
Yeah.
But then that got nerfed by the time it made its way to the Xbox.
And I'm okay with the nerf. That's fine. If that's what you're going to do. But the point is, I paid the same amount of money as that PlayStation person did. So why am I a second-class citizen to PlayStation? That's what it feels like. And they still are saying that. They're basically saying Xbox is a second-class citizen to PlayStation because they signed this multiplayer deal. I'm like, should be just as important as a community player as the PlayStation one.
Right, which it's again, like we were saying, don't have a problem with a month. Because, I mean, Microsoft does anything, but a year?
That's ridiculous.
A year's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I will never defend that. So, I can't. I mean,
that's not me being a fanboy for Microsoft. That's just...
Yes.
I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, if we were talking about PlayStation right now and Microsoft, I'm like, well, that doesn't make much sense. What do I care? You know, I got it first, great. But what do I care? What does any Sony PlayStation player care that they got something that Microsoft players don't?
Oh, there's a lot that do.
Well, I know that they do, but the fact, and also the fact that they're not cross-platforming, but at the same time, it's not fair that I can go into a Crucible match or I can go into something with a gun that you can't have. You just simply can't have it. Now, I can understand like a pre-order, a pre-order bonus, which they don't even do that. The pre-order bonuses, they make everything eventually available to everybody. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm going to still pre-order it, but it was going to be kind of cool. I'm like, it doesn't have to be something that's nerfed, but just what was it? The Flaming Warthog and Halo Wars when you first got that. I thought that was cool. There's no way I can ever get that. Mm. But the fact that, I think you have it, don't you, Tim?
Uh-huh.
You got it. So the fact that you have something I can never have because you pre-ordered it, I think that's cool, and I respect that. It just sucks I will never get it, but because I kind of like it, but I want it, but it adds to it being special. I'm like, I don't care if it's a skin or an emblem. There needs to be something that should be unique that's not available to everybody else, but it's not a game changer. Mm. But when you're saying all this exclusive, hey, this strike is exclusive on PlayStation. These guns are exclusive. This armor is exclusive. I'm like, well, that's not right. Because this is a loot-based game.
Yep. Anyways.
I have something else to say.
Okay.
Not about Destiny.
Okay.
I'll talk about something else.
Oh, okay.
Borderlands 3.
God, I hope
I'm hoping for it. I really am, because I would actually be looking forward to Borderlands 3 almost as much as Destiny 2.
5 years?
Mm-hmm.
So, they were saying that at the earnings call for 2K, that
they said
fiscal Red Dead got pushed to the next fiscal year, which is April 1, 2018 through March 31st, 2019. And then they said in that they also have a plan to bring back a AAA franchise of theirs will launch in that year, in that same fiscal year. And they're saying it's either going to be Borderlands 3 or what was the other 2K game?
Bioshock.
Bioshock would be the other one they were saying that could be a potential.
That's
the rumors going around. Like, no one knows what
Okay,
it
but
is.
that's still... I mean, think about that. Bioshock, Red Dead, and...
I kind of hope they don't make another Bioshock, honestly. Just leave that series alone.
The main team that made Bioshock.
Yeah.
Well, no,
and
but
Bioshock
think,
Infinite
but
are
think
no
about...
longer.
Did you play Infinite?
I haven't beaten it yet.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I don't like games old.
I have ADD when it comes to video games.
Yes. Somebody else does.
I have a
So do
terabyte.
I.
I have a terabyte drive on my PC, and I have all those games that I probably haven't beaten one yet on.
Anyways,
Bioshock has not been a series that needed to build on it. It's kind of like I've been told some of the DLC from Bioshock Infinite ties into the original Bioshock, which is cool, but the main story has nothing to do with it. And but by itself, and I went into it thinking, well, how could it be Bioshock? Why are you calling it Bioshock Infinite? Why is it Bioshock Infinite? It's not Bioshock because it's not has anything to do with Andrew Ryan. Doesn't have anything to do with any of that stuff. But it's not Big Daddy. It's not Little Sisters. I'm like, that's not Bioshock. Well, once you get past the name, I'm like, the game was freaking amazing. So if they're going to make another Bioshock and they went that same route of making something different, but gameplay is the same, I'm like, I love that gameplay. I love those worlds. So I would be very excited
it'd
for
be interesting to
that.
see who would make the game. Like I said, the studio that made Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite are
They're
no longer.
scattered, yeah.
That studio got shut down years ago. It turned into like 6 people in like a cubicle
Yeah.
somewhere. But they were saying that the rumors either the next Bioshock or the next Borderlands
Well, so
would be for next
but they've
fiscal
been
year.
working
So
on
April 1,
Borderlands 3
2018.
since Battleborn. And Battleborn came out the same time as Overwatch. So what was
That was
it,
a year.
year ago?
Year ago.
So they said that after Battleborn, they were like, okay, all resources have been put into
I'm
3.
sure it was in pre-production before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure it was too, but it just feels like it's been way overdue, and there's been no talk about it. That was like the last official thing that was said, and it was nice to hear those words, Borderlands 3 from them, but that's the last we'd heard.
I think they showed off some engine stuff at the
At
GDC.
GDC, there was a graphics thing that Randy Pitchford was showing. I think some with like Unreal 4 or something like that.
It's showing off the new Unreal Engine running Borderlands, like what the next Borderlands could potentially look like. Look like Borderlands.
Because for me, Borderlands was the quintessential, co-op universe
definitely.
I'm like, that made I don't want to play this by myself. I was like, I want to play it with other people, and it just made sense. Like hopping into dune buggies, and you go this way, I go that way. Let's see what we can find, and then then I'm gonna come over here with you, and then I loved that part. That's kind of what I was hoping Destiny would be, and Destiny became so much more linear and so much smaller. I was hoping for that big Borderlands world.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they initially pitched Destiny as. Then they were like, "See that mountain over there? You can go to that mountain." No, you can't.
They can't.
Anyways, that was our Destiny talk and stuff along those lines. We were near the end, but Zoom had one question for us. Question for the audience, aka the one person, Zoom. Her question: have you fallen asleep while playing a game? Controller in hand.
What?
Birds staring at Chris.
You can stare at me all you want.
There are a lot of playing Nights of Halo 3 when that happened, maybe. But I haven't done that in a while.
That would be some Black Ops 2 Zombies. Chris has fallen asleep in Black Ops 2 Zombies before.
Yes.
I have not, but I can tell when I'm getting tired because also my reaction time gets down.
You fall asleep pre-game, and then 3 hours later show up.
Yeah, it's true. I get my power nap in before we game.
It's like, Tim said he's going to be on. Okay. Text him. 3 hours later. Sorry, I was asleep. No, he's on his couch. I'm like, I could drive there and wake him up by now.
I get home. I get off from work at 5:30. I'm home by 6. I fall asleep at 7. I wake up at 9. I'm ready to go. I'm on by now at 9:30. It
You go back to
really
sleep for
screws
work.
up. Oh, I
Just stay
I
up.
drown a lot of Ezekiel.
It's very few
and then I go
times
to bed
I've been
like
asleep
2:30.
when we've actively been doing something. But it's when I've done it in Destiny when we're talking a whole lot instead of doing a lot. And that's what I hate. we got to talk, but I like when we're trying to do a new raid, I'm like, after about 2 seconds, I'm like, okay, then talk while we do it. Let's work it out, because I'm sorry. I love it when I'm playing with you, but when you're trying to tell me how to do something, and then Torch is trying to tell me how to do something, and then somebody else is trying to say, James is in there trying to tell, I'm like, I just want to go. And I'm like, at that point, I'm just like, the drool's starting to come out a little bit. And if I'm holding the zombie at the wall, yes, it came through, and I'm like, it's probably because I was over in the corner instead of out of the window because I'd fallen asleep. That's happened more than one time. That's happened several times with Torch.
So never done in game. I pre-nap, and then I also, when I can tell when I'm getting tired, is usually, all I basically do is do multiplayer shooters anyways. So when I can, all of a sudden my kill count starts going down, I know it's time for me to go while I get off.
Mm. I don't think I've fallen asleep at the game actively going. I've been like, since I have to get up at 4 a.m. every morning now, there have been times where I've come home and I've been like, all right, I'm going to play some games, and then 20 minutes later I find myself nodding off. But, usually when that happens, I'm able to actually at least hit the pause button first.
Nice.
So, I guess I kind of have fallen asleep with the controller in my hand, but I haven't fallen
You kind of
asleep.
have. You have.
Have I?
Yes. And typically it's been when you've had to get up early, and you started out great, and then it's, if we were playing zombies, you've done it in zombies.
Okay.
But the exact same reason. It's because, okay, we got a crawler and everybody's getting weapons and ammo, and you're just like, I can't. Yeah. I'm going down, and I could see you walking to the wall.
Okay.
It's just, you can still,
I've done it once or twice.
you still are conscious enough that if we say something, you'll respond. Yeah. Whereas we've actually heard Torch snore.
Yes.
We've actually heard him snoring, and then
I've heard you snoring.
Yes, and can't deny that. I can't. It's not often.
No.
But it's when your eyes are bigger than your heart, because you're like, I want to play. I really want to. I did. That's why I cut the game on.
It happens the most often when you're under the weather, which is understandable, actually.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. So yes, to answer Zoom's question, for the majority of this table, I think it's happened.
Yeah. Some way, shape, or form. So that's it. We're at the end.
Good, because I got to go to the bathroom.
So I'll just drown this out then. So, okay, anyways, you can find us at VAHOMApodcast.com, on Twitter at VAHOMA_podcast. I am VAH_Annihilator. Andrew is MetalBlade85. Bert is MudDauber24. And Chris is HankNova316 or LudoChris316 because he's cool enough to have two of them.
Yeah, and apparently I have to buy Star Wars Battlefront 2 the day it comes out. Because there's a certain someone in my household that is obsessed with Star Wars, has been playing Battlefront, and has gotten so much more enjoyment out of that game than I ever could possibly want, because it was such a letdown of a game.
I did buy that. That's what I also played recently. Randomly, it was I bought the Battlefront, like it had like everything for like $20, so I just bought, that included the game.
Unfortunately, I paid the $59.99 for the non-season passed version, and that was one of the biggest wastes.
The season pass by itself was like $30, or I could buy the Ultimate Edition. Like a couple weeks ago, there was on like one of the digital sales. It was like $20, so I just bought the whole thing because I wanted to do the Death Star stuff and everything. Anyways, so we're at the end. Follow us on all this stuff. You can find us at VAHOMApodcast.com. We have a YouTube channel. Look us up there. If you would be nice enough to subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. Because we can't have VAHOMApodcast.com/VAHOMApodcast. VAHOMApodcast.com/ Jesus.
I don't know what
YouTube,
I'm not quite sure where you went with that.
YouTube.com/VAHOMApodcast. You can't have that until you have 500 subscribers. Which, at this rate, we will never have.
Subscribe.
So please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube.
Agent M, you need to start telling people to subscribe.
So Agent M, she needs to subscribe. You guys all need to subscribe.
I'm subscribed.
Add to the channel. I don't know. But anyways,
that's YouTube.
Yeah. Bert and the internet. Who knew? It's way too complicated. So
it's right next to that Blu-ray player.
Right next to the Blu-ray player. Got it.
There's an app on your phone.
With his phone? Who knew?
No,
he's got the Electrify.
That's true.
I got the, no, I got rid of the Electrify M.
Oh, you still
That thing died back in August.
Oh, that's right, it did. That was what you did have.
Right.
Now I have the Galaxy 6 or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Remember when you first got a smartphone?
Yeah, I joined the
3.
2000s.
Yeah, it was great. So we're at the end. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.